everybody, today is another how to sleep video because I haven't made one of those in a while and I'm still pretty much insomniac, so yes. So the reason I'm making this video is because, in case it wasn't perfectly clear, the other videos I've made on this topic are just my opinion and things I have tried that have worked for me, although for a very small period of time. However, they have worked somewhere in the past. I've been having problems with insomnia for 13 years now, so you know, I've tried a lot of different things. However, now I actually have medical scientific knowledge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the scientific knowledge and then my personal opinion. My opinion, not, you know, any facts or anything, just my opinion on the scientific knowledge. So basically, this semester, the past semester, I had a whole term of medical EEG lessons, and basically we had a doctor come in and we had like 4-5 hours per week of lessons with him, and I already know EEG way too well because I've been learning that stuff for God knows how many years, but this time we had the medical side of it. So the EEG that I've learned is mostly scientific, how to use it in science and stuff like that. Now we saw how it is used in medicine, and the vast majority on what the professor focused on, because he's a doctor as in a physical doctor, he's not just a professor, he's a doctor, he specializes in sleep disorders, and he also taught us a lot about sleep. He also taught us what you should do to sleep normally and not have any insomnia or any problems, and he basically said that this is how you really cure insomnia. You don't go and take pills, you don't do any of those things. No, this is how you cure insomnia once and for all. That is what he said, and I'm sure he may be perfectly right in some occasions. However, I have my own personal opinion on that. But first I'll share what he told us, because I think that in some instances he actually may be right. I think there's a lot of people for whom insomnia may actually stem from what he claims is the problem, and I'm not saying that like he's a fraud or anything. I'm sure he could be really right here. So basically what he said is that the most important thing when you have insomnia or any trouble sleeping at all is your sleep hygiene. So sleep hygiene is basically everything that is around your sleep, right? So it's your bed, your bedroom, how you go to sleep, when you go to sleep, everything. So I'll quickly get into, you know, I'm not going to sum up like, I don't know, 200 hours of lessons on how to sleep, because that would be ridiculous, but I'm gonna give the most important few points here. So basically the first thing that he said is to wake up at the same hour every single day. So it doesn't matter what hour you go to sleep, although you should also try and go to sleep at the same hour, but if that's not possible, it doesn't matter. But the most important thing is to wake up at the same hour every single day. It doesn't matter if you're going to work, it doesn't matter if it's the weekend, you should wake up at the same hour every single day. He says that there's nothing more harmful to our sleep schedule, but also to the way we function and generally to our body, than oversleeping during the weekends because we had a tough weekend, we need to sleep now, sleep the week off. He said that that's the most harmful thing that you could do, and I guess to some extent I do agree with him, because I get up at the same hour every day. I've been doing that for, I don't know, ever since I started university, so for quite a while. So, you know, like I know I feel good if I get up every day at the same hour, but that's just me. Also, the hour I get up at isn't that early, because my university was never that early, and now that it's the quarantine, I get up every time at 9. If I have really early lessons, I'll get up at 8, but generally I tend not to get up earlier than 9, so you know, it's easy for me to say, oh, I get up every day at 9 and I feel great if you have to get up every day at 6. But my point is here that that's the first thing he said. He said that this is the most important thing, that you sleep every day the same, get up at the same hour. The next thing he said is that it doesn't really matter how much you sleep as long as you get between 5 and 9 hours of sleep. He says that sleeping less than 5 hours is obviously harmful and it's gonna make you feel extremely tired, but he said also that sleeping over 9 hours, so oversleeping, is just as bad for you as sleeping less than 5 hours, and that you should not try to sleep too long. And this I can also agree with, because the reason why I started getting up at the same hour, even during the weekend, was because if I slept too long, I would, and I still do, feel extremely bad. But that may be just me, I don't know. But my point is that in this case I also agree with him, with what he says, because I can take his medical knowledge and scientific knowledge and I can actually see that on my own body, so I also do agree with that. So another thing he says is that to try to go to sleep as well at the same hour, but if you can't fall asleep, and this is like a pro tip for people with insomnia, if you can't fall asleep, just get up and do something, you know, get up, I don't know, make yourself some tea. I mean, don't do anything that can of course wake you up, so don't go watch TV, probably don't go watch a book, but you know, just do something relaxing, don't stress yourself out, but just don't lie in bed and wait to fall asleep either. Yeah, I'm thinking if he said anything else, but I think those were the most important things. Obviously, like I said, he thinks that pills don't work and they only make things worse, and I do agree with that as well. But yes, so in conclusion of what I quickly said here, getting up at the same hour, not sleeping too little, not sleeping too late, generally trying to have the same sleep schedule every day is good for you. Also not giving try to put your phone aside and all those things before you go to sleep, like half an hour and stuff. So basically having a good sleep hygiene. And now, I personally think that in some cases he may be correct, because I know I have a few friends who go to sleep every day at 3 in the morning and they wake up at 12 and cry how tired they are, and then they have to wake up for university at 6 a.m. The next morning and just totally bitching out they have insomnia and they can't fall asleep now. Yeah, sweetie. Yeah, Michael, if you fall asleep at 3 a.m. and then have to get up at 6, yeah, you're gonna be tired. I'm sorry to break this to you, bro, but you are. Or Karen, or whatever name. I don't care. It's a made-up name. I don't have any friends named Michael. My point here is that I have a lot of friends who behave like this and, you know, then bitch about insomnia and sleeping problems in a situation where they really kind of put themselves in the situation by themselves. Also in a situation where every day they get up at 6 and then they sleep, because I think it's fine if like I was in high school and I had to get up at 6, but then during the weekend I'd sleep until 9. But if during the week you have to, you know, get up at 6 and then comes the weekend and you sleep until like 1 or 2 p.m. in the afternoon, 1 or 2 in the afternoon, sometimes 3 in the afternoon, you're totally fucking up your sleep schedule, because you're sleeping, mathematics, 7, 8, 9 hours longer than you normally would sleep, not to mention you're going probably a few hours later to sleep than you normally would, and you're totally fucking up your schedule, and you're totally fucking up your body, because you do have a biological clock inside you and you do have all of that. So like I agree that if this is the way you behave, you're not going to have a good sleeping schedule, you're not going to have good hygiene, and you're not going to fall asleep. So basically you might think, hey, but so far you've agreed basically with everything your professor told you, at least the things that you've mentioned to us. And then you'd be right, I do. You see, my problem isn't with what he says that can help when you have sleeping problems, because I agree that in certain situations all of these things can be helpful. If you're one of those people who's constantly irritated because you can't fall asleep, and then you sleep differently every single day and you have a totally effed up, you know, body clock and everything, then yeah, I hope this helps you and you understand now why. But my problem is that I don't think it's a magical cure for insomnia in general, and I don't think that it's going to help everyone, because I do all the things he said in the lessons. Like, I didn't mention all of them now because, like I said, I don't want to put so many hours into such a short video, but I do every single thing that he says you should do to sleep well, and I've been doing them for years, not now because he said, oh, you have to do it. No, I've been doing them for years, and I still have insomnia, and that is kind of ridiculous to me. So I get, like I mentioned, for quite a few years now, I've been getting up every single day at the same hour, unless I have to get up, I don't know, once every few weeks at 8, let's say. I mean, now I'll have to get up earlier because the upcoming semester I'm gonna have lessons earlier at early hours, but before that, I'd probably have to get up at 8 or earlier once a month, once every 3 weeks. So like your natural clock in your body resets every 4 or 5 days. So if you slept till 8 and then you want to sleep till 9, it will take 4 nights or 5 nights of sleeping till 9 for your body to get back to that kind of schedule. So so if it's once every 3 or 4 weeks, it doesn't F up my body as much. So I've been doing that. I've been going to sleep at the same hour every day, and I've been not trying to oversleep. So for instance, if I go to sleep at a certain hour and I wake up earlier, I get up and I don't stay I don't lie and wait for the clock to go off at 9 just so I can get, like, if I wake up at 8 or earlier by myself, I know that my body has got enough sleep, and that's fine. And by myself, so that I don't feel like I need to sleep, obviously. I'll get up and, just do my things. I've also been, don't sleep more during, like, weekends, or I don't really go to parties, but, like, if there was, like, New Year's or something, I went to sleep at 1 or 2 at night. I didn't sleep longer. I got up at 9 just as I usually would, and, nothing much. I also, so like, that's the main thing he says, that's the most important thing, and I do it, and I still have insomnia. Not to mention that the whole getting up and doing something and waiting for sleep to come, yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but what if you're like me and you never get sleepy? Because that's the difference in general, because a lot of people don't realize it. You think that if you're sleepy constantly, you have insomnia, when in reality, insomnia is when you're constantly tired because you don't get sleep, but you don't get sleepy. That's why you can't go to sleep. So I can get up and do things and wait to become sleepy, but I'd wait until the bloody morning because I am never sleepy. I am constantly fatigued, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm never sleepy because I have insomnia, and even if I didn't have insomnia for some reason, I am just never ever sleepy. I am exhausted, I wanna go to sleep, but I'm not sleepy. If I was sleepy, I'd fall asleep. Like, kind of logical, I think. So there's the first thing that I have a problem with, and the second thing I have a problem with is that in my case, I specifically go to sleep at least 2 hours before I plan on falling asleep, because I know I won't fall asleep earlier. So sometimes it takes me 3 or 4, but it never takes me a shorter period of time to fall asleep than 2 hours. Never, ever, ever. So, giving me advice, well, if you go to sleep at 10 and you can't fall asleep, then go to sleep at 12, because if it takes you 2 hours, yeah, if I go to sleep at 12, I'll fall asleep at 2 a.m, and if I go to sleep at 2 a.m, I'll fall asleep earliest 4 a.m. Trust me, I've tried these things. I'm not just sitting here and being a bitch for the sake of it. I've tried all of these things, and I know that sometimes, like this, for instance, like New Year's Eve, like I said, I went to sleep around 1 or 2. I didn't fall asleep quicker because it was a later hour. No, it still took me 2 hours to fall asleep, even though I was exhausted, even though I was lying down later. So it's easy to say, oh, get up and wait for sleep to come, or like get up and do something and then try and going back to sleep. But like in my personal case, it just doesn't bloody work. So this is the medical perspective. Oh, I also should have stated at the very beginning of the video, I am not a doctor, and I will never be a doctor unless I decide to, go and study medicine. But I'm not studying medicine, and I'm not a doctor. But this is a doctor's opinion because my professor is a doctor who works as a doctor, who has patients and everything, and he says this is the medical perspective on it. So I'm just sharing some of the things he told us. But yeah, that's, I think that, it's like I said, I think that this can help a few people, like maybe the getting up and doing something will help you. I'm pretty sure there are people that could be helped by that method, so maybe you'll get some information that could actually potentially help you with your insomnia or your sleeping problems. But also, like I mentioned, for me in particular, it doesn't work, so I do believe that doctors believe this is the right way to go, but I don't think this is the only way to cure insomnia, and it should cure every insomnia, because I've been doing all the things you mentioned for years, and I'm still insomniac. Yes, basically. So that's all I have to say on the subject. I hope you enjoyed this. Once again, this is just based on me, so I can be, an alien, and this may be a method that works for literally everyone in the world apart from me. This is my opinion. It's not facts that I'm trying to disprove, you know. Oh, I've got all these facts, I'm gonna disprove the medical opinion, because I don't have any facts. I test it myself and I know it doesn't work for me. But it's like I mentioned, that's the medical opinion, and I think it could help a lot of people. So if you haven't tried out those things yet, maybe try those things out now. Maybe they'll help your sleeping. Alright, that's all for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week. Bye bye. Mwah.